right now. We welcome in 2017 Wayne Allyn Root, his website to Root for America. Wayne, how are you?
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Happy 2017.
Happy New Year.
It's going to be a great year. It's going to be huge.
Well, it's a Trump New Year, and I'm sure you saw the news just this morning about Ford. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. In fact, we hadn't had a chance to talk about that yet. They're still gonna make cars in Mexico, but instead of building a new plant, they're gonna redirect some of the money to Michigan.
Yeah, well, they canceled a $1.3 billion plant in Mexico. That must really make the Mexicans happy. And instead, they reinvested $700 million in a U.S. plant in Michigan. Because of that alone would be great news. But to hear the CEO of Ford say, and I quote, because of the pro-growth policies of President-elect Donald Trump. That's not Wayne Root speaking. That's the CEO of Ford, admitting that Trump and the Republican Congress, he actually credited as well, the pro-growth policies he hears coming out of the Congress and the President-elect are the reason he chose to relocate from Mexico to the United States. That is just wonderful news and music to my ears.
Yeah, I waited for the Democrats to come out and try to spin it, but the guy made very clear when he was on CNN, he said, quote, "We did not cut a deal with Trump. We did it for our business," end quote. There's no gray area there.
You know, I write a twice-a-week column now for the Vegas newspaper, which is one of the top 25 in the United States. And my new column's coming out on Thursday, and I just finished writing it like 10 minutes ago, and the title is Complete and Total Vindication. And not to brag too much, but it feels good to be vindicated on a lot of levels. So, number one, I always argued that it isn't hard to turn around the American economy. All you do is what Reagan did. You cut taxes, you cut regulations, and, of course, update it by killing Obamacare, and all the jobs just magically come back. And sure enough, you've got all these CEOs. Tesla just announced the other day. Apple just announced they've asked their manufacturer to try and relocate the building of the iPhone to America instead of where it is now, I believe China or Japan. I don't know, wherever the heck it is. It's not in America. And you hear about all these companies that are coming back, the air conditioning company, Carrier, they're all coming back to America because I always argued that term inversion, companies that want to relocate to Ireland or Canada for lower corporate taxes, we'd create a reverse inversion if you just lower taxes in the United States.
Sure.
And that's exactly what's happening. If you could get taxes about as low as anywhere in the world here, everybody will want to come here. Who would not want to be in the greatest country in the world, America? Well, you don't want to be here if taxes are twice as high as Ireland. But if you could get it in the range of Ireland, everybody wants to be here because we have a rule of law. You know, governments don't take your business away. Governments don't, ruin you or put the CEO in jail. Governments don't do things like that in America. We're not a tin pot dictatorship. So everyone will want to come here where your property is safe. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, and as somebody who's consulted with some of the top business leaders in America, we've said this for so long under the Obama administration. A lot of these companies are sitting on tons of cash because they were afraid to invest it in their businesses because they didn't know what business-killing regulation was coming along next. And now, as you said, this inversion, he's sort of released that chokehold. These companies are going to have a lot of money to spend because they know the regulations are going to go away to some extent.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you use the word chokehold because, of course, Black Lives Matter and the liberals all, that's the worst word in the world to them when a policeman uses a chokehold. But none of them care that Obama put a chokehold on every American businessman, white or black, for the last 8 years. You couldn't run a business anymore. He was just destroying it with regulation after regulation. And on the way out the door, thousands of new regulations in the last month. I mean, it's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It's an absolute vindication again because it proves what I said all along was right. This guy is a reckless Marxist out to destroy the United States economy. It's very clear to me. Yeah. Who leaves in your last days, screws over Israel, backstabs Israel, and creates thousands of new regulations at the last minute and makes vast swaths of the oceans around the United States off limits to oil drilling and grabs 1.6 million acres of land in Utah and Nevada and turns them into national monuments so nobody can ever drill on them or make money on them, who releases thousands of prisoners. Unbelievable, his last days. And I always said Obama's last days would be a doozy.
Well, so what? He's on Capitol Hill apparently today, trying to rally Democrats to stop the Trump agenda, to try to save Obamacare. I mean, he's simply not going to go quietly into that good night.
No, they're all melting down. The liberals were all melting down, and I knew it was an act. I called it from day one when he said, we're going to be so nice. This is America, and we help the next guy in the transition. And I've agreed to not fill any new government posts. From now until Trump takes office. All lies. Marxists lie. Ask Alinsky. They lie about all of their intentions. And Obama's been busy filling every single government office he can with Marxists in the last 2 weeks. All the things he said he wouldn't do, he's done. And he's passing on fake news left and right. That's once again out of the Alinsky playbook. Because you look in the mirror, Alinsky taught you, whatever you're doing, you accuse the other guy of doing. All the fake news in this administration the last 8 years comes from Obama. So to say that, it's fake news when Republicans talk, no, it turns out you're the guy with fake news. Did you see, Mark, that about 2 weeks ago, so it was in the middle of Christmas, a lot of people didn't notice it, Lawrence Katz and Alan Kruger, Princeton economists respected the world over, and Alan Kruger, guess what his title was?
What's that?
Obama's chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors. And he left Obama's chief advisory position, and he went back to Princeton, and the two of them released a study that proved 94% of every new job created under Obama was a part-time job. Everything I've said for 8 years has come true. Total, complete, utter vindication. I've argued that all the jobs reports are a lie because you need to divide them between part-time and full-time. Part-time jobs aren't meant for Americans who go to college, who live a good life, who never did drugs, who aren't covered in tattoos, who don't have a criminal record. Part-time jobs are low-wage jobs for illegal aliens, cleaning toilet bowls and washing dishes and mowing lawns. And that's what's been created, an illegal alien economy. There are no jobs for good Americans who played the game right and did everything they were asked for the last 8 years. And now we have the proof, not from Allyn Root, from Obama's chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors.
Well, hopefully we're going to see some movement on this pretty quickly. But let me ask you this question, Allyn Root. Because Congress is in session today. We don't know what's at the top of their agenda. I suspect I have an idea what they're going to work on first, if Kevin McCarthy was correct in what he said earlier. But I've got a Twitter poll that just started today. I'm going to have the final results of it tomorrow, asking what my viewers would like, or my listeners would like to see them focus on first. What would you like to see them focus on first? Like, number one, out of the gate, what do they need to do?
Well, listen, I'm sure I match your viewers. Number one, there's so many things. I want my taxes lowered. I want regulations killed. I want a wall built. But number one is kill Obamacare. I'll bet you everybody, that's going to be the overwhelming number one thing, is kill Obamacare. And by the way, specifically, kill the Obamacare taxes, which are wrecking my income. It's just unbelievable how much money is going out the door in that extra 3.8% on everything I make. That's got to be killed. So that's number one, and I want to put a shovel in the ground to symbolize that we're building the wall. It may take, 2 years to get everything going and get the permits, but you got to put the shovel in the ground on the Mexico border with Donald Trump standing there smiling for the TV cameras. Yeah. You've got to start, at least symbolically, building the wall and securing the border. And number three is taxes, and kill every regulation you could possibly kill, and freeze all government hiring. I mean, there's so many things on the list. Start implementing extreme vetting. You just can't let in the very people who are driving trucks into German Christmas marts. It's a fact. Muslims are a problem. Not just radical Muslims, all Muslims, you got to check them out. I didn't say we should be prejudiced and not let them in. I said you got to do double, triple security checks on them. If you can't find files on them from Syria, they can never be let in. Simple as that.
Allyn Root, I'm sure you did a great business on the book during the holiday season. It's called Angry White Male. We've been talking about this for 6 months, but I hope everybody had a chance to get a copy of it and read it over the holidays.
Well, I'm sure you're aware that Bill Clinton made the comment that Trump doesn't know how to do anything except get angry white males to vote for him.
That's right.
So thank you, Bill Clinton. That must have been your Christmas reading. I know your wife's not president, so you probably have very little to do nowadays. So I guess on your last flight you read my book and you now understand it's all about the angry white males. But the reality is, do you know what study? Do we have like 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Okay. So a study came out, not a study, but actually facts came out in the New York Times of all places, so you can't say again, it's not Allyn Root, it's not a conservative think tank. This is in the New York Times. Under President Obama in the last 4 years, he claims 9 million new jobs. I'm reading from the New York Times. Almost all of them were low-wage jobs. Half of these new jobs went to Hispanics, even though they make up only 15% of the workforce. Blacks gained 1 million new jobs, but remarkably, none of them went to white workers, even though whites make up 78% of America's workforce. Whites lost almost 1 million net jobs, and it's much more pronounced among white workers in their prime. Whites aged 25 to 54 years old lost 6.5 million jobs more than they gained, while Hispanics gained 3 million jobs. We lost 6.5, Hispanics gained 3 million, Asians gained 1.5 million, blacks 1 million. This is crazy, Mark. You mean there was an entire policy crafted by the United States that ensured the only people that got jobs were black people, Hispanic people, and Asian people, and whites were left out, and all of us lost our jobs? Well, yeah, that's basically what happened, and that's from the New York Times.
Right.
So there you have the proof why angry white males are, in fact, deservedly angry.
And turned out and voted in mass,
Record
that's for
numbers.
sure. That's right. RootForAmerica.com is the website. Wayne Allyn Root, thanks for your time.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Around. It's a Trump New Year, baby. All's going to be well.
Take care, Wayne. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Wayne Allyn Root. Always love getting him on the radio. Why don't we pot up the TV here real quick, Liz, if you don't mind. Fox News Channel carrying the Speaker Paul Ryan's address to the 115th Congress.
We hear you. We will do right by you, and we will deliver. We will honor you because you have honored us. We take this sacred trust seriously. It's not enough to say that the condition of your birth should not determine the outcome of your life, no matter how much we mean it. In a few years' time, I hope that the people will say of this 115th Congress that we didn't just pay lip service to this beautiful American idea, that we made it a reality for everyone. We are not here to be, we are here to do. We are here to improve people's lives, grow our economy, keep us safe, improve our healthcare and our infrastructure, fight poverty, restore self-government. Friends, we've got our work cut out for us. As your speaker, I intend to keep this place running at full speed. When I came into this job, I pledged to restore regular order, get that committee system working again, hold regular House and Senate conferences because only a fully functioning House can really, truly do the people's business.
There you go, Paul Ryan, the newly reelected Speaker of the House. Paul, I've heard a little bit of what you're saying there about what your job is. I think Rick Santelli summed it up best several years back. Didn't you think? Hold on.
Here. Let me get this in. All you guys want to cut taxes en route to bringing down the deficit. That's the current spending.
Stop spending. Stop spending. Stop spending. Stop spending. Stop spending. That's what we want.
And cut the capital.
Thank you. Rick Santelli spelled it out for you, Paul Ryan. Stop spending. I didn't send you up there to spend my money, but that's how a lot of them have interpreted it. We'll continue our discussion.